Hi, I'm Eileen Bild. I'm with OTEL Talk, and today I have my dear friend, Dr. Nancy Wiley. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Eileen. It's so great to be with you again. I'm so excited to be here.
So am I. And what I want to share with everybody is that Nancy and I will be doing a series called the Fast Track to Enlightenment Series with Nancy Wiley. And today is episode 1. And we're going to talk about presence. But first, I want to introduce Nancy to you. She is a board certified orthodontist by trade in South Florida and was inspired to write Divine Trust, a practical guide to end your suffering and find your way home in the aftermath of the school tragedy in Parkland. Through the loss of one of her own patients and one of her staff sisters, as well as the sorrow of many around her, she felt this would be a path to healing for many. So welcome, Nancy. And I want to just bring in the conversation by saying that presence, being, awareness, soul, and other names, they're for the same thing, or are they not? So what is presence? What is being? Is this something that I have? Or how do I find presence or being? So are all of these a different name for the same thing?
That's a great question. And thank you for having me on OTEL Universe. I think it's awesome to be here and I love what you're doing. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So here, let's just start. This is like the very beginning. So I love that this is session 1 of, the series. So we are all beings. My dog is a being. A baby is a being. It also has a presence, but it's not aware of it. So what we're talking about is you can come from your mind, but you're not really aware. You're alive, you're awake, right? You know that you're moving and talking, you're a human being. But what we don't know in this normal waking state is the awareness to where we're coming from, our divine lineage, so to speak. So to feel that, to feel the presence, to feel your beingness in its fullness, you have to be in the present moment and you have to be aware that you're a being. You see the difference? There's this waking up, like I'm doing the dishes and I can be in my presence and aware of my presence. But most of the time, human beings, 98% of us are just going through the motions. We're awake, yes, but we're not aware. So it's when we go into the present moment and we connect with that inner being, the inner beingness, and then we see where we're connected and what our divine lineage is, that is presence. So we can be aware of it, but are we connected to it? Do we realize we're the same as it, or do we feel separate from it? So when you're first starting to awaken, you might sense, this presence all around you. You might not sense it in you. So it's when you start to see that you actually are an extension of it. It is you, you are it. That's when the magic starts to happen and you really feel empowered and you start to wake up to your beingness, your presence. So I hope that answers a lot of that. And then I believe the soul goes even deeper, because what we see on this human beingness and this presence even goes further back. So, I mean, some people believe in reincarnation. We've lived many lives, or, now we're saying it's all happening in the present moment. So we're living all these multiple lives all at once right now. So it's the soul is the most likely is the culmination of all of those lives into one, and all that we're being asked to learn and evolve. So we're all here And we're all being asked to evolve and all being asked to know this, to wake up to this. And this is the beginning of enlightenment. And it's in the heart of every human being, this calling. They know there's something more to life than just being born, living, and dying. They know there is an ultimate purpose, and they're longing for it. They're hungry for this knowledge. And so more and more of us are waking up, and it's no coincidence we're alive right now on the planet. This is the way we're supposed to be evolving.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a lot. I was like, I have all these questions going along. I think coming off of what you just said, if someone's watching and they're like, well, what does presence mean? I mean, how do I know if I'm in that presence? So is there like a tip that you can share that someone can identify if they're in that presence or not?
Yes. So, okay, presence is in the present moment. So no coincidence. Presence, right? Okay, it means being in the present moment. So the present moment is the access point to all of this, to this awareness. So you have to be in the present moment. How do you know you're there? Well, most likely you have to just breathe. One of the best ways in is to just breathe, to feel bodily sensations. You know that you're in the present moment. So that's the access point. You have to start by becoming present in the present moment. Now, that doesn't teach you all of this, what I'm saying about the awareness and this connection. Then you have to look around. I was guided. My first time I was guided, and it took a lot, it took some time. You have to be committed to this. You have to make this like, yes, I want to be enlightened. This is why I'm here. And every human being, every single one of us is here right now to learn this. This is one of it. It's not the only thing we're here to, but it is the key to waking up and living, humanity living from this higher potential that we're being asked to. Each one of us is being asked to do this, is being called to do this. So come into the present moment. And usually I say, turn off your outer senses, turn off your human senses, close your eyes, because you get a lot of information coming in through your eyeballs, goes to your brain. You want to close your eyes. You want to turn off your outer ears. And now you want to open and turn on your inner sight, your inner ears, your inner senses. And then you start to commune with this energy. It's a really profound thing. Once you see an energy, you see it's alive. You're guided to it. You see it's alive. It wants you to see it. It wants you to have this relationship with it and see that we're actually connected. We're one and the same. And boy, oh boy, once that happens, it's like, wow, your whole paradigm shifts. And then it's a beautiful unfolding from that point forward.
So when someone connects and starts to understand that presence in that moment experience, what are some of the things that may happen?
Okay, so that's a great question. So previous to this, when you're in your mind, I'm just going to contrast it, which is 98% of us, we live in our mind. We function from our mind. There's two parts of us, our mind and our consciousness. So our left brain, mind, right brain, consciousness. So right now, this is in the forefront, the left brain. It's judging, it's finding fault. It's finding what's lacking, missing, or wrong. It's dividing. It's just a very negative feeling, like unsettling. Like you'll never feel satisfied. Okay. Versus this, you go in there, you're seeing, oh my God, everything's perfect just the way it is. I'm fine. I'm beautiful. I'm exquisite. I'm joy. I'm bliss. I'm beauty. And everything is unified. You look for what's good, what's whole, what's perfect. And nothing, this just dissolves. And it comes like that. I hope you can see what I'm doing. And now this becomes the point of where we're operating from. And then they merge. And it's this beautiful, exquisite dance. Then we are actually potentiating our humanness, which is what we're here to do. So when you know you're present, if you feel good, if you feel bodily sensations, and someone might say, I'm feeling negative inside. I'm like, that's okay. You're still inside. It's there to show you something. Look at it, stay with it, and it'll dissolve. It'll dissolve into beautiful light if you just stay with it and welcome it. So it's this welcoming of everything in life, and the beauty unfolds. Some of it's very hard to put into English language, but I'm hoping I'm conveying it as best I can into words.
It sounds like it's more experiential.
It is
It's an
absolutely,
experiential experience, kind of like
absolutely.
it's an awakening of something that's been either suppressed or hiding within. And when you learn to be in the presence, it brings that to the surface.
Okay, I want to go on to that point. It's in every one of us, and it is an experience. It's a beingness. We're back to beingness and presence. It's a presence, and it is experiential. And the first time you do it, I had to be guided, honestly. I did meditation. I did transcendental meditation for like 30 years without having this profound experience. It was a specific guiding by a teacher who had their light turned on by other teachers. And then this is what's being shared with you right now. My light's on, your light's on, and we're sharing our light with other people who are like-minded and are being called to live their light, to live their beauty. Who doesn't want that?
Right? I know. It's like, who wants to live in misery and pain and all the negative energy that pulls you down? Would you say that it's getting a visual of like it's a linking of energies, or something about being in the present, even though you're bringing yourself into a center space, but you're actually expanding out through a linking. What's your thoughts on that?
Okay, so we're connecting. We're connecting and then reaching out. Actually, we have to trust this source to reach out, to look for it. My words are the impetus to help other people to trust it. So we first have to merge into the present moment, find this presence, see it, commune with it, and then realize, oh my God, I'm actually it. It is me. We're all this divine, and it's there all the time, patiently waiting for us to wake up to our divinity, our presence.
Sounds beautiful. Sounds like, heaven on earth, so to speak.
It is.
Yeah, I'd like to hear your perspective on, so let's say someone wakes up to this presence and this being in that moment. What are some of the benefits that they may experience as a result of this awakening into the presence?
Okay, well, obviously it's glorious, but I no longer suffer. Once I've merged with this energy, I know no matter what happens, I no longer suffer. So here's the thing. So we just had that shooting in Texas, right? And it was bringing back, because I was involved in the Parkland shooting. Not that I did it, but I saw what happened. I lost a patient, my staff lost a sibling, but yet I saw the suffering. So when you're in that, you're in your mind, you're disconnected. But once you go back into your connection to this source, it dissolves everything. It dissolves the pain. It smooths and soothes any hair that's out of place and just makes you feel whole and perfect. Now, it doesn't mean that I condone that. Not at all. It just means I see it. I see why things are happening from the perspective of the creator, how it's asking us to take a stand for love, to be love, to be in this connection, to share this connection. I mean, it's now needed more than ever. So this sharing, this communion of this connection just melts all of the pain, and you see why it happened. And you also see how we each, all of us combined together, can be a powerful change to end this way of humanity operating, to usher in this new beauty of love and expansiveness and connection to not only source, but to everything, because we are one. We're all connected with it. It is us. We just have different, a slight variation, perfection, which is the personality, which we're supposed to have. Like, you're supposed to be doing what you're doing, and I'm supposed to be doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And each one of us has that aspect to our individual manifestation here on the planet, but we are all connected to this divinity.
So what you're talking about gives people the opportunity to shift paradigm, shift perspective of how they're responding to what life is showing them or bringing to them, whether it's personal or happening to others and they're observing. So is there anything in the book that touches on that specific instances of presence and soul that people could benefit from?
So it teaches us that anything that our mind labeled as bad or wrong, or a situation where we were a victim, it actually melts that away. It melts it. It shows it for the beautiful opportunity. It's not a problem or in a situation. It's an opportunity to see that as a beautiful rose, to blossom it so that we can move into this new way of being. It just melts everything. So you don't suffer. You don't have pain. You don't have a disruption of a feeling of gratingness on you. You just flow. You flow. And yes, once you're in that, you're in the place of manifestation. That's where you plunk in love. You plunk in prosperity. You plunk in health. You plunk in financial gain. And it just miraculously comes to you.
So it sounds like, yeah. So
it's everything. It's the answer to everything anything anyone is looking for, to love, relationships. Plunk it in, you get it. As long as you stay in that connection.
And that's the key, is to come to that connection and then keep it and nurture it and build upon it, which in these chats that we'll be having for the series, it will help people to understand what it takes to do that, and how to integrate the information in your book into the content and the subjects that we'll be talking about. So any one last words of wisdom that you'd like to share today?
Yes, one last thing, in that, I might be making it sound easier than it is, and I know that I fall out of it too, but that's part of the human experience, and that's meant to happen. So again, it's meant to be okay. So don't do what, this is a mistake I made. If I got mad at my daughter, I have a special needs daughter and she has triggers, or I cut someone off in traffic, I would say to myself, you see, I'm not spiritual. I'm not worthy to carry the light. Well, that is a bunch of bull. We're humans. We make mistakes. So what you do is you just decide again, choose again in the next second, in the next moment. I choose love. I choose to be the light. And you choose again. And that's, at first I had to do it a lot. I mean, it does take time, but to have a guide like I am wanting to be for you right now helps. And having a model, because life is not perfect. It's not meant to be perfect. And that's okay. And you're not going to be perfect either. So you just be okay with that and just choose again.
Well, I like that. It's to be okay, to not
Mhm.
be perfect, to be okay,
Yeah.
to practice and
Yeah.
work towards that connection and that connection
Yeah.
becoming stronger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this has been great, Nancy. Thank you for today's tips and uh, taking us to a higher level of awareness of what it means to be present. So where can people find you? Where can they find the book?
On Amazon, it's available paperback, Kindle, and Audible. They can also go to my site, trustthedivine.com. I would like to invite your listeners to my masterclass. I would like to do it free. It starts June 7th and it goes for 3 weeks in a row. I want as many people to hear this knowledge, to gain this knowledge. So if you feel called to be there, come. It's free. I'll give Eileen the link. She'll share it with you in her social media sites. And I hope to see you there and experience and dance with you in this divine relationship with trust. So
next talk is going to be about watching our own thoughts and how important our thoughts are. So be sure to check out the next part of the series. And we look forward to seeing you next time, Nancy. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for watching.
You're
Eileen, it's been
welcome.
great. Take care. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
you too.